Today is January 15th. It's the 15th day of the year, and this is the On This Day podcast. Today is Wikipedia Day, the anniversary of the launch of Wikipedia on this day in 2001. Wikipedia is the online encyclopedia, which gets its name from the wiki concept it uses to allow collaboration and modification by many multiple users around the world via a simplified markup language that can be edited and uploaded in a basic web browser. The wiki is created by Ward Cunningham, who develops the first wiki software in 1994. Cunningham develops a system that allows users to create pages of content and comment on and change pages created by others. And these wiki pages are all linked together into a document called the wiki that is greater than the sum of its parts. For the name of this creation, Cunningham chooses the Hawaiian word wiki, meaning quick. Cunningham, inspired by the WikiWiki shuttle that transports passengers between terminals at the Honolulu International Airport. He calls his software WikiWikiWeb, and over the next several years, a number of people begin building wikis for a variety of subjects. One of the largest and most popular wikis in use today is Wikipedia, the brainchild of Jimmy Wales and Larry Sanger, launched on this day in 2001. The online encyclopedia is a collection of millions of crowdsourced wiki pages connected by hyperlinks into hundreds of wikis, one for each language. According to Wikipedia, there are more than 5 million articles in over 250 languages available online, with more added every day. I like to use Wikipedia as a starting point when beginning my research for every episode. It's a great place to find sources and occasionally disappear down a Wikipedia rabbit hole, surfing links and ending up in the most unexpected places. In 1941, the new War Department building is completed in Washington, D.C., but before it opens for business that year, it's already inadequate. The Second World War looms on the horizon, and even though the U.S. has yet to officially join the battle, the U.S. military is getting ready for the inevitable declaration of war. Even with its new building that opens in 1941, the War Department, as the Department of Defense is called in those days, is spread out across 23 buildings in the capital. Secretary of War Henry Stimson proposes the construction of another new building, but this one large enough to accommodate the offices of all the armed forces under one roof. And that means it's going to be a pretty big building. 4 million square feet of office space, to be precise, room for 40,000 workers, and parking for 10,000 cars. And the powers that be want it built within a year. Oh, and it can't be any taller than 4 stories. Any higher would require too much steel, which is needed to build battleships. Oh, and designers are given a weekend to draw up plans. There's not enough room in D.C. for such a gargantuan structure, so a plot of farmland across the Potomac in Arlington, Virginia is selected. Arlington Farm is perched on a hill overlooking the Potomac and D.C. It's a somewhat irregular 5-sided plot of land, and designers need every square inch of the land for their massive building. Over the weekend, they sketch out the plans for an oddly shaped building that looks like a square with its corners lopped off. It has an outer ring and an inner ring that are connected on the first and third floors. Traffic patterns within the building are inefficient and asymmetrical, and on the outside, the building just looks hideous. It's only 4 stories high per the requirements, but with its location on the hill under Lee's mansion in Arlington, President Roosevelt is concerned it will obstruct views of D.C. from Arlington Cemetery. So a new site in Arlington is selected, the old Hoover Airport on the lowlands next to the river. There's more usable surface space on this plot of land, and the designers revise their plans. They spread the building out and refine its shape into a symmetrical 5-sided structure, a proper pentagon, reminiscent of the forts of the Revolutionary era. On September 11th, 1941, Ground is broken, and construction begins immediately. The plans are continuously revised throughout most of the building process. A fifth floor is added halfway through construction. Around that same time in April 1942, the first War Department employees move in. Construction continues for the rest of 1942 at a furious pace. After 16 months of construction, the new headquarters of the War Department, current home to the Department of Defense, the Pentagon, is completed and dedicated on this day in 1943. It is one of the world's largest office buildings, 6.5 million square feet across 29 acres with more than 17 miles of hallways. There are 350 days left in the year. On This Day is produced by me, Dave Schultz. Thank you very much for listening. Born on this day in 1908, Edward Teller, the Hungarian-American physicist and the father of the hydrogen bomb. He is an early and key member of the Manhattan Project that builds the first atomic bomb. Apparently, Edward Teller is also the inspiration for the Peter Sellers character Dr. Strangelove in the Stanley Kubrick film of the same name. So if you're still listening, I can walk! Talk to you tomorrow.